Thank you, Mr. President. I see today, and I must comment, that we have addressed and advanced to second reading the question of whether deer antlers can be traded or bartered. Will the Finance Chairman yield?
The request is out of order at this moment. We're on remarks, but gentleman may proceed.
Okay. Well, I was hoping that when I conclude my remarks that we can hear, day 30 is tomorrow, we're halfway through the session, whether there are going to be any revenue enhancements which will be a part of the budget, which I know hard work is being done on and has been done on since day one. So I'm not in any way trying to be disrespectful, but I would really like an update, since I'm not on the Finance Committee, to know whether we're going to approach the budget with strictly budget cutting, or will there be any revenue enhancements included in the budget? Thank you.
Thank you. Further remarks, the senior senator from the 4th.
Well, the last time I checked, my name's not Isaiah or Jeremiah. I'm not a prophet. I can't totally predict the future. I can say this, that the committee organized itself from the very first day to look at the expenditures of the state budget. And, you know, we began with the governor's introduced bill, and we have actually looked at several scenarios on how to deal with the revenue estimates versus the expenditures, which is really your question. And I don't think that any one group yet has coalesced around an answer to the revenue question. There's the Tax Reform Committee in this body. There's a similar tax reform proposal. I have some things in my head in terms of somewhat of a reform as well, you know, playing off of the Tax Reform Committee. But there's actually been nothing said. But I can say this, I'd say this to you or anyone else, that the numbers are pretty well, I mean, we're close to an agreement. Any day that we finally agree on the numbers, one day later we can have a budget bill on your desk. But wisdom would have it, as the Constitution is very clear about something that I wish everybody would at least read once on the budget section. The public, everybody would read it. It says the governor shall introduce a budget bill. And it anticipates, and it actually says a plan, and it allows him not to give us a balanced budget in and of itself. This is where we're kind of got one arm tied behind our back. We've been given a $4.055 billion revenue estimate. Actually, the average spending of this state has been above $4.2 billion in the last 3 years. So we've been given a revenue estimate that's underneath the actual spending by $200 million, somewhere in that range. And we've been given a budget of $4.5 billion. And told by the governor, as all governors have been doing since I've been finance chairman, here's the balanced budget. But it really should say balanced budget plan. The budget's not balanced. If you're spending more money than you say you got, how's that balanced? It's not balanced when he gives it to us. It's $500 million out of balance. So we're being asked to now, we as the legislature have 60 days by the Constitution for the only bill that the Constitution requires to be introduced. We have 60 days, or it can be extended. It's not a special session. I would tell everybody, if it's extended, it's not a special session. The Constitution says the governor can extend the session when, in his or her judgment, it would take to complete the budget. And I contend that we shouldn't leave town till it's done. And I think we violated the Constitution last year. Should give me an opportunity to, you know, say what I've wanted to say for a while. Now, where are we? Well, there are proposals. The governor's given us 2 lists of tax increases. There are revenue measures being proposed in the tax reform plan. There's been no, we haven't coalesced around it. But so, Obviously, I would like to have the answer to that question as you would. I would like to know what this body in general would like to do as they agree on how to fill the revenue gap. I mean, there's any number of ways you might be able to do that. You could do it with cash, and you could do it with new taxes. And we could go 2 or 3 years more, just going back to the $4.2 or $4.25 billion expenditure, fill it in with rainy day money, revenue shortfall reserve fund money. Actually, that's what it's called. It was established for revenue shortfalls. And that's why it was established. So, or there could be some revenue measure. So I think, but I will say this, we're far ahead than we've ever been in terms of once those questions are settled in 24 to 48 hours, depending on whether my analysts stay all night here or not, or we give them a couple days to do it. Because that's a complex bill. There is no template for it. You have to write everything, write the language, and so forth. So we're very close, and day 30, I wanted to be somewhere, what I said from the very beginning, that we would be right on or very close to what our expenditures should be, and I think we're there. And, and I've got a document upstairs we'll be happy to give to anybody that shows you pretty close to where we are on that, So I hope that answers the question. I don't know about, the future in terms of how we fill the gap, but obviously we're going to have to, and hopefully do it within 60 days.